There are multiple different approaches we can take as developers when we consider how we want to save user-specific data for an app. We can save the data to the server, but that would mean we need to create a user account to access the data for that user, which would mean setting up authentication and so on. Another approach would be to save that data on the client side. This is the approach we will explore here. And these two approaches can work together as well. You might store user information on a server, but also temporarily store some information on the client side so that if there are network issues, some data can still be accessed offline. When using Redux to store our application state, we can make use of the Redux Persist library. This library will let you save or persist the Redux store to the client-side storage. Then it will let you reload that data, or in this library's terminology, rehydrate it. Redux Persist, like Redux, can be used with any kind of JavaScript application, including mobile apps built with React Native, as well as browser apps and even desktop apps. Let's take a look at what you'll need to use to implement Redux Persist. We'll need to, in the create store function, we'll need to replace the combine reducers callback with a new callback provided by Redux Persist called persist combine reducers. And we'll need to supply the persist combine reducers function with an additional parameter, a config object that provides configuration values for storage to the device, including the storage type and a key as required values and some optional values. We need to pass the Redux store to a function called persist store, which then ensures that your Redux state is saved to the persistent storage every time the state changes, and it returns a persistor object. Finally, when using React or React Native, we'll need to wrap the app's root component in a persist gate component, which is provided by Redux Persist, and we'll need to pass it the persistor object, and that will delay the rendering of the app until the Redux store has completed rehydrating from the persistent storage. With this overview of how Redux Persist works, let's go on to implement it in our React Native app. In this course, we are using the basic essentials from Redux Persist. It is a lot more powerful, and you can learn to use more of the advanced features once you get comfortable with the basic usage.